No, I was always surprised by this title of war against terrorism, because terrorism is not an enemy, it's a way of action, it's a way of violence. The best definition of terrorism is the one probably of Raymond Aron, who was explaining that terrorist attack is a means of violence which psychological and mediatic effect is more important than the strategic one, which means that we are not fighting against terrorism, we are fighting against an enemy. And the question is, who is the enemy? So why I insist, I pay out attention to that, it's because we can't each time say that we are reinforced, we are improving our security means, etc., because it's not possible to prevent such an attack. So the question is, what's the political reason of the terrorism in France? Why France is so goal and targeted by terrorists? That's the main question. So I hope that the security meeting will be paying attention to that question.
What's your answer to that question?
Well, I do think that we are probably a country which is most targeted than other ones because of two reasons. The first one is that we have the most important Muslim community and Jewish community of the Western Union. That's the first point. And that's why, you know, there is a very sensitive moods in France. And the second one is probably our diplomacy in Syria and Iraq, because I mean, it's also true for United States and England, etc., because we are fighting against Daesh. I mean, there are just Western armies fighting against Daesh. I don't understand why. Why the countries of the region, I mean, mainly the Gulf states, are not fighting against Daesh. They are fighting against the Yemenis. So my question is, that's not our war. That's a war mainly involving the regional powers. And, you know, in that region, we have 4 wars in one. The first one is the war between Turkish and Kurds. The second one is the war between Sunnis and Shias. The third one is Assad against everybody. And the last one is the night whites, you know, the Western armies coming. What for? I mean, we are not co-belligerent. We are Western, we are external powers. And that's why, you know, remember the Bataclan scenario. When the terrorists were in the Bataclan, they were explaining that you are bombing our family, you are bombing our children, you are bombing our wives, so we can kill people in your country.